Spring is here, and so are a bunch of new anime series. If you're wondering what to watch this season, we're here to help. Here are 8 must-watch anime for spring 2020. Kaguya-sama Love is War is an absurdly silly skit-focused romantic comedy. It primarily focuses on the interactions between two brilliant minds at Shuchiin Academy, Council President Miyuki Shirogane and Vice President Kaguya Shinomiya. Though both students are crushing on each other, they're also both too proud to admit it, which leads to numerous situations where the two attempt to trick each other into confessing their feelings first so that they can start dating. Wave Listen to Me is one of those rare series aimed primarily at adults, featuring a protagonist who isn't a high school student. After ending a messy relationship, 26-year-old Minare Kota heads to a bar to vent, only to hear her drunken ramblings played over the radio the next day. Turns out the man she spoke with while inebriated decided to record her. She immediately heads to the radio station to berate the guy, only to find the man pushing her to air her grievances live. The experience serves as a successful impromptu audition, which nets Minare a late-night radio host slot. Arte is a fictionalized retelling of the Italian Renaissance, which delves into the rather murky matter of classism. Protagonist Arte is the 15-year-old daughter of nobles, who now must give up her passion for art to become a woman who can marry into wealth. She refuses to live her life in the cage of a noblewoman who must obey her husband, and chooses to pursue a career as an artisan, not exactly traditional for a woman in the 16th century. However, she eventually manages to secure an apprenticeship with Leo, an acclaimed artist who, as a boy, escaped his own societal cage of poverty, and now sees a bit of himself in the young woman. Ascendance of a Bookworm stands out in an isekai-obsessed industry with how it handles world-building and traps its protagonist in another world in a unique way. Though the overall end goal for Mine is to create books in the fantastical medieval-like setting she finds herself in, the lives of those around her keep moving despite her actions. Mine may have hardly done anything in regards to her dream by the end of the first season, but the new world she finds herself in feels alive in a way few other fantasy anime can manage. Mine is also herself an interesting wrinkle in the isekai genre. The actual Mine is dead. Her body is possessed by a woman from our world who realizes she must learn how to manage being someone who already had a history and established relationships. Though the main character of My Next Life as a villainess All Routes Lead to Doom is sometimes a little too dense, this isekai is a wonderful screwball of a harem comedy full of misunderstanding-based jokes. Katarina Clay is a monstrously bratty heiress who one day hits her head and remembers she's actually a hardcore otaku who died and was reborn the villainess in one of her favorite video games. Refusing to accept how the game ends, with her being exiled or killed, Katarina begins using her knowledge of the game to come up with creatively wacky and comedically devious methods of changing how others perceive her. However, she does a little too well, and soon all the capturable targets fall in love with her. Kakushi Goto excels for its willingness to be silly even when it's trying to tell a pretty impactful story, exploring concepts like family dynamics and societal expectations through hijinks-focused comedy and wonderfully adorable slice-of-life moments. The anime follows Hime Goto and her father Kakushi, who secretly works as a mangaka that's known for producing vulgar stories. Afraid that his daughter will be ashamed of him if she ever finds out what he does for a living, Kakushi goes out of his way to hide what he does, much to the annoyance of his assistants and editor. Digimon Adventure reimagines the 1999 anime of the same name, restructuring events so that they now take place in 2020 as opposed to the late 90s. This isn't a direct retelling in a new timeline, though. This new Digimon Adventure completely remakes the original series with more socially conscious and character-driven storylines. In Digimon Adventure, mankind unintentionally creates a digital world and sentient digital monsters. Though these creatures called Digimon have remained relatively unknown to humans, the growing power of a viral-based monster in the digital world is causing adverse effects on the real one. In order to save both worlds, several kids of immense potential are chosen to fight alongside destined Digimon partners. We'd be remiss to not also recommend Fruits Basket. Season 2 marks the return of the popular 2019 reboot about the high school orphan Toru Honda, who begins living with the mysterious Soma family, some of whom are possessed by the spirits of the Chinese zodiac. When touched by a member of the opposite sex or when under stress, these cursed members transform into the animal that possesses them. At Season 1's conclusion, Fruits Basket had already begun to delve into the tragedy and abuse surrounding the cursed members of the Soma family, a story thread which should come to a head in the events seen in Season 2. What anime will you be watching this spring season? Let us know in the comments, and if you need more recommendations on TV shows and movies, check out our weekly TV and movies podcast called You Should Be Watching. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.